Picture this. Instead of swords and spears, it's spreadsheets and press releases. The battlefield is the stock market. The conquest is market share. But the struggle for victory is just as fierce. Turns out an ancient Chinese general named Sun Tzu wrote a book called The Art of War centuries ago. But its wisdom is shockingly relevant to winning in the cutthroat world of business. If you are pressed for time, then I will give you a 1-minute summary, and then you can skip the rest of this video. But stay on after that if you would like to hear me flesh out the details. The key points for the 1-minute summary are: 1. Know your terrain. Sun Tzu said armies need to study the battlefield. For us, that's deep diving into our market, customers, trends, competitors, regulations, the whole deal. You can't charge in blind and expect to win. Don't just react, anticipate. 2. Adapt to win. Companies like armies can't get stuck in their old ways. The market shifts, tech changes, so your strategy has to change too. Rigidity leads to getting blindsided. 3. Leadership matters. Sun Tzu knew armies crumble with a bad general. Same deal in business. Weak leaders cause chaos, while great ones inspire, make smart decisions, and take calculated risks. 4. Knowledge is power. Blindly attacking in business is like, well, a general attacking a hill without knowing what's on the other side. Disaster. Companies need intel. What are competitors planning? Where are they weak? How can we exploit that? 5. Play offense and defense. Don't get complacent. Just when you think you're winning, a competitor might switch things up. Analyze them the way Sun Tzu would analyze the enemy's army. Where can we strike where they are weakest? What threats do we need to plan for? Crazy, right? An ancient text about war holds all these secrets for business success. Sun Tzu's wisdom won't replace your MBA, but it's a powerful reminder. Even in our modern world, the basics of strategy haven't changed. Understanding the landscape, knowing yourself, anticipating your rivals, that's the path to lasting victory, on the battlefield or in the boardroom. Now, stay on if you would like to hear me elaborate on the details in the rest of this video. Otherwise, thanks for listening and hope to see you again in my next video. Chapter 1. Laying plans. The key ideas in modern terms are: 1. Strategy is essential. Success in business, like warfare, depends on careful strategy. It's about survival, not just casual interest. 2. 5 critical factors. These success factors remain relevant in any competitive field. Firstly, the moral law, a company's values and mission. Do employees and customers believe in it? Next, heaven. External forces, economic climate, market trends, industry changes. Then earth, the playing field. Your market, competitors, unique resources, and potential obstacles. Followed by the commander, leadership. Are your leaders capable, trustworthy, and decisive? And last but not least, the method and discipline. Systems and processes. Is the organization well-structured, efficient, and financially responsible? 3. Know yourself, know your enemy. Analyze these 5 factors for your company and its competitors to predict who has the upper hand. So, how do we apply the art of war to business? The importance of shared values cannot be overstated. A company where employees align with the mission and customers trust the brand has greater resilience in hard times. This is comparable to Patagonia's environmental focus. Next, adapting to the environment. The heaven factor reminds us markets shift. A company that can't adapt to changing trends and economic climates risks failure. Think of Blockbuster versus Netflix. Then, understanding the competitive landscape. The earth factor stresses knowing your market's risks and opportunities. For example, a small business entering a crowded space needs a unique selling point. It's also crucial to know the need for strong leaders. Businesses need leaders who are smart, ethical, caring, have courage under pressure, and can hold people accountable. Finally, systems equals success. Organized structures, clear job roles, streamlined processes, and responsible spending habits are vital to sustained success. Chapter 1 wraps up with the following strategies for winning in business. Deception, the good kind. In business, this isn't about lying, but being unpredictable. Surprising launches, non-traditional partnerships, disrupting the usual. Targeting weaknesses. Not ruthlessly, but in the sense of finding your competitive edge. Do you offer better service, lower prices, etc.? Highlight this to the world, especially to your customers. Preparation is key. Businesses that plan extensively, market research, crisis scenarios, financial forecasting, are more likely to thrive. Chapter 2. Waging war starts off with the following key ideas. 1. War and business competition is expensive. Resources, money, time, energy drain quickly. Speed is essential. 2. Prolonged conflict is destructive. Drawn-out battles or price wars, extended projects, etc. Hurt everyone, not just the direct competitor. 3. Understanding the true cost of conflict. It's not just about the obvious price tag. There are hidden costs to morale, resources, and market stability. The art of war can be translated to business in the following manner. 1. The cost of resources. Sun Tzu emphasizes the immense cost of an army. Businesses have similar expenses, staffing, supplies, marketing, etc. Every day of conflict adds to this burden. 2. Speed matters. Stalled projects, unresolved disputes, or slow decision-making bleed resources. Businesses need agility to seize opportunities and resolve problems fast. 3. Sustainability is key. Sun Tzu advises foraging from the enemy. In the business world, it's about leveraging competitors' weaknesses, winning over their customers, or even absorbing talent through mergers. 4. Impact on employees. War exhausts soldiers. Prolonged competition exhausts employees and damages company culture. 5. External impact. Protracted war drains a nation's coffers. In business, prolonged price wars or battles over market share can destabilize entire industries, harming consumers in the long run. 6. The leader's role. A decisive leader can swiftly end a war. A decisive business leader can end costly stalemates, make strategic decisions, and inspire their team. What about strategies for winning and minimizing costs? 1. Focus on decisive victories. Aim to resolve competitive situations quickly, whether by innovation, negotiation, or targeting competitor weaknesses. 2. Don't rely on extra funds. Sun Tzu warns against second levies of soldiers. In business, this could mean avoiding emergency loans or desperate fundraising during a prolonged conflict. Plan for contingencies in advance. 3. Limit damage to the market. Think of the bigger picture. Cutting prices to eliminate a competitor might win in the short term, but could destabilize the market for everyone long term. In Chapter 3, Attack by Stratagem, Sun Tzu said, "In the practical art of war, the best thing of all is to take the enemy's country whole and intact. To shatter and destroy it is not so good." Winning without destruction is ideal. Preserving the enemy's resources or a competitor's assets can be more valuable than outright destruction. Strategy beats brute force. Outsmarting your opponent is better than costly, drawn-out battles. Know your strengths and weaknesses. This applies to your own forces or company and your enemy or competitor. Minimize conflict. Sun Tzu advises avoiding full-blown attacks and sieges if possible. In business, this could translate to avoiding price wars, legal battles, or hostile takeovers if other strategies for winning market share can be found. The power of strategy. Think like a chess player. For example, disrupt your competitors' plans before they launch. Prevent them from gaining allies or consolidating their market position. If direct conflict is necessary, target their weaknesses intelligently. Instead of destroying a competitor, sometimes absorbing their talent, customer base, or technology is a smarter victory, if legal and ethical. Knowing your limits is also key. Direct confrontation is risky if you're outmatched. A smaller company might outsmart a large one using agility and speed, niche expertise, and superior customer service. Lastly, know that a poor leader can ruin even the best army. In the business world, this means a CEO's decisions can destabilize a strong company due to misunderstanding the market, poor management style, and ignoring expert advice. The strategies for winning over the competition can be distilled into the following. 1. Attack your competitors' weaknesses, not head-on. Do they have a poor reputation? Offer superior service. Are they slow to innovate? Launch a disruptive new product offering. 2. Know your own playing field. Don't pick a fight you can't win. A small business shouldn't embark on a price war with a giant corporation, for example. 3. Build trust and unity within your company. Strong company culture breeds resilience, making it difficult for competitors to poach talent or cause internal strife. Chapter 4. Tactical Dispositions. Position yourself for success, not failure. Build a foundation that makes it hard to lose before seeking opportunities to outdo your competition. True victory is effortless. Winning through superior strategy and flawless execution is far more impressive than victory through brute force. Control what you can. Exploit opportunity when it arises. You can control how well prepared your company is. You can't control competitor mistakes, but you should be ready to pounce. Building a strong foundation is fundamentally important. Have a solid business model, financial security, and a team you trust. This way, even setbacks won't destroy you. Deeply understand your strengths and weaknesses so you can shore up vulnerable areas. Waiting for the right moment. Don't rush blindly into every opportunity. Wait for competitor slip-ups, such product failures, PR scandals, etc. Also, market shifts are always happening, and leverage those that play to your strengths. When opportunity strikes, a well-prepared, agile company can seize it flawlessly, leaving competitors in the dust. Think of the most admired companies. Their successes often look easy, but come from years of careful planning. A business leader should focus on market analysis, resource allocation, building the right team, as well as understanding risks and opportunities. They should trust their team to execute the day-to-day without micromanagement. This chapter advocates 3 strategies for winning. Be patient, then decisive. Prepare for years, then strike fast when your competitor stumbles or the market shifts in your favor. Focus on internal strength. Build a company so solid that external threats can't knock you down. This gives you the staying power to wait for the right moment to act. Outsmart, don't outspend. Victory achieved through clever marketing, superior products, or niche expertise is more sustainable than that won by simply throwing money at the problem. Chapter 5. Energy. Sun Tzu said, "The control of a large force is the same principle as the control of a few men. It is merely a question of dividing up their numbers." Leadership is about organization. Whether it's an army or a company, clear structure and communication allow a leader to manage many people effectively. Strategy is built from simple elements. Much like music or colors, a few basic strategic concepts can be combined to create endless plans. Harnessing momentum and decisiveness. In war and business, opportunities are fleeting. A leader must use focused energy and timely decisions to seize them. Organization breeds efficiency. Think of a well-organized kitchen versus a chaotic one. The same applies to a company. Even huge teams can be efficient, with clear chains of command, streamlined communication, and well-defined roles. Successful companies also often have a simple core model: sell a unique product, offer better service, etc. Their competitive edge lies in how that simple idea is turned into complex operations and strategic responses to market changes. Carpe diem. A business must be prepared to take calculated risks when a chance arises. Indecisive leaders miss opportunities because they overthink or fear failure. The illusion of weakness. Sometimes, appearing disarrayed to your competition, think not announcing a new product until it's ready to ship, can create a tactical advantage. The art of war advocates the building of momentum. Each success, no matter how small, creates energy. In business, this could be a string of well-received product launches, positive press, and growing customer loyalty. Deceive your competitors. Let them think they know your next move, while you surprise them with something unexpected. Leadership is about focus. A good leader harnesses their team's collective energy for decisive action, rather than demanding each employee is a superstar. Chapter 6. Weak Points and Strong. Sun Tzu said, "Whoever is first in the field and awaits the coming of the enemy will be fresh for the fight. Whoever is second in the field and has to hasten to battle will arrive exhausted." Control the situation. Force your competitor to react to you, not the other way around. Strike where it hurts. Target your competitor's weak spots, not their overall strength. Secrecy and surprise are powerful weapons. Keep your plans hidden, forcing your competitor to guess and spread their resources thin. Agility is key. Adapt your strategy constantly, never relying on the same trick twice. The first mover advantage. Being first to market, launching a new initiative, etc., forces competitors into a reactive position, which is inherently weaker. Focus your firepower. A smaller company shouldn't attack a giant head-on. Instead, find a niche they neglect, a problem they haven't solved, etc., and go all in on that. Play mind games. Keep your true strategic plans under wraps. This could mean letting the competition think you're going in one direction, then doing something very different. Keeping launch dates secret until the product is ready. Don't get predictable. Once a competitor figures out your strategy, it loses power. Businesses need to be ready to innovate and change constantly. Target underserved markets. Find weak spots in the market your competitor isn't addressing well, and focus your energy there. Disrupt from unexpected angles. Instead of directly copying a competitor's successful product, solve the same problem for customers in a radically different way. Strategic misdirection. Leak false information or give hints of a product launch that never materializes, keeping competitors distracted to gain your own advantage. Chapter 8. Variation of tactics. Rigidity is the enemy. Successful leaders, like those on a battlefield, must constantly change tactics based on the situation. Know the terrain, exploit it. Understanding the landscape, market, competitors, regulations, etc., is crucial to finding the right strategy. Think both defensively and offensively. Don't just assume things will go your way, but have plans for when they don't. Be ready to pivot from offense to defense as needed. Avoid the following fatal leadership flaws. Good leaders must find a balance between boldness and recklessness, cool-headedness and cowardice, pride and oversensitivity. And last but not least, caring for employees and letting worry paralyze decision-making. The dangers of a set playbook. A business that does the same thing year after year risks getting blindsided by new trends or competitors. Assessing the terrain. This means 1. Deeply understanding your customers' changing needs. 2. Analyzing competitor moves. 3. Staying alert to shifts in technology, economic conditions, etc. Always have contingency plans. Hope for the best, plan for problems. What happens if a product launch flops? A key employee leaves? What if the economy tanks? Leadership matters. Flawed leaders make fatal mistakes, just like generals on the battlefield. A good business leader needs to be decisive without being rash, principled without being too easily offended, and finally being empathetic without overthinking every decision. Chapter 9. The Army on the March. Sun Tzu said, "We come now to the question of encamping the army and observing signs of the enemy. Pass quickly over mountains and keep in the neighborhood of valleys. Terrain matters. Smart leaders, both on the battlefield and in business, use their environment to their advantage. Anticipate problems. Don't be caught off guard by weather, geography, or sudden shifts in the enemy's behavior. Read the signs. Both armies and businesses produce signals that observant leaders can decipher to their advantage. Know the playing field. Understand the market landscape. In this case, the customers, competitors, and regulations is key. Choose your positioning wisely. For example, high-end products versus budget, or niche market versus mass appeal. Look for opportunities in the terrain. Does a change in law present a new market opening? Does a competitor leaving a region mean you can swoop in? Watch for competitor weaknesses. Often a flurry of layoffs signals internal trouble. Negative reviews expose holes in their product. Confusing messaging means they might lack strategic direction. Pick your battles. Small companies shouldn't wage all-out war on established competitors. Choose defensible niches, or exploit territory your larger rivals are neglecting. Always prepare for the unexpected. A strong financial cushion helps weather market downturns. Have plans in place for emergencies like a PR crisis or the sudden departure of key staff. Lastly, be always learning. Pay attention to trends and what customers do, not just what they say. This lets you anticipate shifts before your competitors do. Chapter 10. Terrain. Knowing the landscape seems intuitive, but it is often neglected. Understand the competitive landscape, market conditions, and regulatory environment, the business equivalent of terrain. Position for advantage. Seek out defensible market positions or spots your competitors have neglected. Play to your strengths. Avoid unfavorable battles. Don't pick fights you can't win. For a business, this might mean avoiding price wars or expanding into a market you don't understand. Leadership makes or breaks the army. Weak, disorganized leadership breeds failure, both for armies and companies. In business, we can see the following types of terrain. 1. Accessible, a market with low barriers to entry, easy for anyone to compete in. 2. Entangling, markets where it's hard to gain a foothold or to leave if things go badly. 3. Temporizing, a market stalemate. No one can easily gain an edge. 4. Narrow passes, niche markets, valuable but only if you get in first. 5. Precipitous heights. High ground could be a technological advantage, brand reputation, etc. 6. Distant positions. Expanding to new territories with unfamiliar regulations and competitors. Finally, for business leadership, avoiding defeat is about being aware of the calamities that Sun Tzu pointed out. The 6 leadership caused disasters that he mentioned apply strikingly well to businesses. 1. Flight. Employees leave a toxic workplace with bad morale. 2. Insubordination. Teams lack respect for leadership, so directions are unfollowed. 3. Collapse. Leaders are too strong. Micromanagement. Stifling employee initiative. 4. Angry, impulsive leaders make rash decisions harming the business. 5. Disorganization. No clear roles or goals equals chaos. 6. Route. Weak leadership allows competitors to walk all over the company. Chapter 11. The 9 situations. Know your environment. Assess the competitive landscape, market conditions, etc. Before deciding on strategy. Don't just react to competitors. Anticipate them. Different situations equal different strategies. A company with strong hometown presence, for example, needs a different approach than one entering a new international market. Leadership in dire straits. True leaders inspire even when success seems unlikely. This is how companies survive economic downturns, scandals, etc. Translating situation types to business. Dispersive. Like a new startup with no established reputation or market share. Need to build unity fast. Facile. You've entered a market but haven't gained a foothold. Time is of the essence. Contentious. A market with several competitors. Need to aggressively grab advantage where you can. Open. A mature market, harder to disrupt. Focus on alliances, flawless execution. Intersecting highways, entering a new market where alliances, local knowledge are key. Difficult, highly regulated markets, or those resistant to change. Require steady, persistent effort. Hemmed in, backed into a corner, need ingenious strategies, not brute force tactics. Desperate, crisis time. Inspiring employees, making bold moves are keys to survival. The chapter wraps up with the following principles. Exploit enemy weakness. Find their unserved areas and hit them hard. Unpredictability is an asset. Never let competitors know your next move with certainty. Adaptability is key. Be ready to change plans swiftly, based on market shifts, not ego. Chapter 12. The attack by fire. Sun Tzu said, "There are 5 ways of attacking with fire. These aren't about literal arson. Think of them as ways of disrupting your competitors' operations. Disrupt. Don't just defeat." Fire in Sun Tzu's time was terrifyingly destructive, a true disruption of an enemy's ability to function. Businesses should aim for similar strategic strikes. Timing is everything. Seize opportune moments to launch disruptive actions, not just whenever you feel like it. Don't act out of emotion. Impulsive, reckless actions in both war and business can lead to ruin, even if momentarily satisfying. Putting these into action in business can be viewed as burning soldiers, eroding employee morale, poaching key talent, negative PR campaigns, etc. Burning stores, disrupting a competitor's supply chain, or their access to key resources. Burning baggage, targeting their logistics, making it difficult for them to fulfill orders. Burning arsenals, attacking a competitor's core assets, R&D, patents, brand reputation, etc. Hurl dropping fire. Constant, unpredictable attacks to keep the competitor destabilized. Have a plan, then exploit opportunity. Smart businesses have contingencies in place, so when a competitor stumbles, they can pounce for maximum impact. Strategic disruption, not destruction. The goal might be to cripple a competitor long enough to gain market share, or force a favorable merger, not outright wipe them out. Wind and weather matter. Understanding economic trends, regulatory changes, and shifts in consumer preferences is the business equivalent of judging the best time to launch a fire attack. Chapter 13. The Use of Spies. In this final chapter of The Art of War, Sun Tzu emphasizes on the importance of intelligence. Intelligence equals advantage. Knowing your competitors' plans, weaknesses, and moves puts you steps ahead of those who operate blindly. Information is worth the investment. Businesses often undervalue competitive research, seeing it as a cost, but it's an investment enabling better decision-making. Use a variety of sources. Just as armies had different types of spies, businesses need diverse ways of gathering competitor insights. Protect your secrets. If your competitors have good intelligence, you're as vulnerable as an army with exposed plans. Translating spies to business can be seen as follows. Local spies. Talking to industry insiders, analyzing public data on competitors. Inward spies, monitoring job boards to see what roles they're hiring for. Reveals strategic shifts, or attending trade shows where they might be a bit loose-lipped. Converted spies, employees who leave a competitor and join your company, bringing valuable information with them. Doomed spies, deliberately leaking some false information and seeing if it spreads within the industry, helps identify who's spying on you. Surviving spies. This would be formal market intelligence efforts, subscribing to competitor newsletters, having a researcher attend their sales pitches, etc. Finally, the chapter and the book wraps up with these principles. Intelligence requires smart people. You need employees skilled at analyzing the information gathered, turning raw data into strategic insights. Ethics are important. Industrial espionage is illegal, but there are many ethical ways to gain an information advantage. It's an ongoing process. Competitor analysis isn't a one-time thing. The market landscape changes, so your intel gathering must be continuous. If you made it this far in the video, kudos to you for your tenacity. Sun Tzu's ancient wisdom, designed for the battlefield, holds surprising relevance for the cutthroat world of business. While literal warfare, thankfully, isn't something most companies face, the principles of strategy, leadership, and understanding your enemy remain remarkably transferable. While Sun Tzu's advice should never replace modern business practices, it's a timeless reminder that even with technology and market complexities, the fundamentals of strategy haven't changed in millennia. The company that best understands its environment, its own strengths, and anticipates its rivals has the strongest odds of lasting victory. God bless and Godspeed.